Hey guys, Azu here, casting another game of Starcraft 2. It's going to be the third game between these two players. The first two games were very good, so I'm going to cast the third, give these players all the credit they're due. Fuzer spawning as the red Terran in the top position. We're going to have a Zerg vs Terran on Xel'Naga Caverns, spawning as the blue Zerg in the bottom, Eizcaj. Both players respectively in the 1700s and 1800s in the European ladder. I do not know much about these players aside from that they are extremely extremely high ranked on their respective European ladder, which is, from what I understand, an extremely cutthroat business. Not quite as bad as Southeast Asia, but still no slump at all. I know there's only 3, and we're throwing the Americans behind. And here we go, supply depot again. He decides not to wall off, not even going to bother with that. SCV going out to scout extremely early. Normally you'll see him go after the supply depot, but he is going out very early. Zerg player, very standard stuff. Building drones, and building drones. Overlord make his way across, and here comes, looks like again, yep, double SCV. We're probably going to see that early wall off that he's become such a fan of against the Zerg player, really forcing that Zerg player to have to deal with this early wall, which is very difficult for the Zerg player, because the Zerg player wants to get onto 2 bases and get onto 2 bases quickly. Here comes the SCV doing the scouting, and look at that pesky SCV. He's wrapping it around the backside, doesn't want the Zerg player to know what's coming. He wants it to be a little bit surprised, and here comes the Zerg player. What's he gonna do? This is definitely gonna be one of the later games, because you could see with this drone he was trying to scout for that wall. I assume that's why he spent so much time there and chasing down that SCV. He knows about Fuzer's typical play, and does not want to be caught with his pants down at a wall in front of him again. Here we go, Barris going down. We'll see if he's able to establish that wall like he has in the past 2 games. Excuse me. Here we go. 2 SCVs coming in, got the barracks queued up. Will his drone be able to hold this off? It's going to be a very crucial moment to see if this Terran's build is busted. And the SCV's just, there he goes, still gets the wall up. The drone couldn't do a thing to stop it, just had to watch it unfold. This time, not deciding to throw in an early gas, building up his minerals. Looks like he had probably hoped to take a faster expansion, because he's already up to 400 minerals. Back at the Terran base, we have Marines being produced, no gas yet. And here come 2 more SCVs. He knows these SCVs are going to be in trouble. SCV-1, SCV-2, SCV-2 almost dead. Zergling's chopping away through these walls. Gonna start repairing this bunker. It looks like it's still going to be enough to take down this bunker. We'll see. Bunker just holding up for delay. Here come 2 more SCVs. Poor Zerg player's not going to be able to break this down. And here we go with a Roach Warren. Gonna try and do a Roach bust out of this. Not gonna do any kind of Baneling play or some kind of spike or shrunk colony. Hopefully to poke away at that, just going straight to the Roach play. Look at those pesky SCVs. This repair away. This barracks is still not done. He doesn't want to commit that SCV, because here goes the SCV, and there goes the barracks. Has to force to cancel. Wall is completely fought back. Man, look at that Zerg player go. Definitely dealing with this wall extremely well. And there go his remaining SCVs. He just did not have enough Marines to really fight back those units. Fuzer now knows he's in trouble, knows he needs to get this wall up. He's not walling up with a factory, he's walling up with the double barracks. I guess he did, yeah, he doesn't have the gas for the factory. And here comes the Zerg player with these Zerglings. We'll see if the Zerg player is able to make a quick end of this game, because the Terran player has nothing more than a wall between him and the Zerg player, and 1 Marine, and the Marine is caught on the inside. That Marine most likely going to be killed by the Zerglings. Marine going down with now 1 Marine on the inside and 2 SCVs coming to repair. There's no way he's going to be able to bust on this wall, wisely leaving with the Zerglings. And here goes his expansion, trying to regain his economic foothold. Here, the Roach Warren still not really making anything with the Roach Warren. I guess he just built the Roach Warren in hopes that he might need it to break down that wall. Deciding that he's just gonna drone up for right now, bring up the production tab. Excuse me for not having it open sooner. Factory started for the Terran player, and now the Zerg player doubling back for Zergling speed. Not getting a lair, not getting roaches, throwing on a second gas. I wouldn't be surprised if we see the lair very soon with him getting that second gas, because you don't generally need a second gas until you get the lair, unless you're going a very Baneling heavy army. Factory taking the place of that bunker, building another very solid wall. Fuzer does not want to get Baneling bust, and does not want to get Baneling bust bad. Hatchery almost done, about to be operating on 2 bases. Here come the Zerglings just sitting there at the watchtower. Second gas done. Queen on the way. I assume that's why he's preventing not starting the lair. And here we go, lair at the expansion. You figure with that second gas there'd be a very quick layer coming through, and a couple drones out here just to even out his drone count a little bit. Still very saturated here. Take a look at the economy tab. 21 drones to 22 SCVs to 29 drones. Zerg player taking a very strong economic foothold, was able to stop that wall brilliantly using nothing more than a queen and a couple Zerglings. Terran player now throwing up an expansion, now throwing up an armory. Looks like he's going to favor that same exact Thor play he's been playing so far. Not producing from either barracks. Both barracks seemingly produced for nothing more than being protective walls. Very interesting decision. He obviously did not want to have to wall off that soon. With his wall being destroyed so quickly, he was probably hoping to wall off that factory. Excuse me. Trying to keep up with what I'm talking. Breaking down the rocks, preparing for his inevitable third expansion. The Zerg player always wants to be expanding, always wants to be looking for new opportunities. Double gassing right now. I wouldn't be surprised to see some kind of mutilist play. Judging by the amount of gas he's getting, we'll see what he decides to go for now that this layer is done. Bringing up the production tab. Still not committing to any kind of tech yet. Pre-Infernal Igniter on the way. These Hellions can become twice as dangerous as they already are. And seeing as how the Zerg player is compromised mainly of his Zergling army, has yet to take any advantage of this Roach War. It hasn't upgraded Zerg Roach speed, deciding not to build Roaches at all. I assume it still had to do something with that wall. It just decided not to use it. More Hellions being produced, blue fire, and look at that. This time he's going for a fast vehicle plating upgrade, hopefully to deal with his Zerglings. You generally want to get an armor upgrade to deal with fast hitting small units, and you generally get attack upgrade if you want to blow up large units that are doing giant bits of damage. Second factory just getting done. Command center turning into an orbital command and throwing on a reactor. He is going a very strong Hellion and throwing on the engineering bay, I assume to deal with some of the turrets because he believes there's going to be something. And actually 2 Roaches now being created, taking this gold expansion. He just doesn't like rocks. He is taking out any rocks he can come across, so he is making use of this Roach Warren, and here comes a Roach speed. He didn't make it for no reason at all. I apologize for inferring he might have. Not going to go to the hive just yet. Getting up to 700 minerals and gas and double Evo chamber. We're going to see what kind of play is going to come out of this. He's going to a mainly Roach army, and the Roaches just chasing these Hellions, doing anything. Hellions coming into the base. These Hellions are going to do terrible damage to these. 4 Hellions will one-shot drones. But the Zerglings intercept just in time, forcing those Hellions to back out that little side entrance. Hellions completely denied of any drone damage. Brilliant job by our Zerg player. Jumping to the economy tab, 48 drones to 33 SCVs, 1,300 minerals to 850 minerals. The Zerg player in just a dominating position. Hellions coming back around for another attempt. Just stopping. Nope. Roach is already there, denying any kind of Hellion push. Look at this great Overlord placement. He knows anything that's going to come into his base. He knows it's going to get there before, because these Roaches, especially with that Roach speed, are much slower than these Hellions. Look at this. Hellions coming around, expansion being put up, and as soon as these Hellions get any further, this Overlord is going to spot it, and its Roaches are probably going to move into position. Taking a look at this Terran base, I was told I need to spend more time looking at both players' base. I apologize. Look at this again with this nice wall off. Very nice play. Roaches getting denied by these, Roaches denying those Hellions immediately. Not going to do any damage, just at losing a Hellion, almost losing a second Hellion. But again, commending this wall play. Very, very nice. And double factory. This Terran player is a very strong favor of mech play versus our double armory. Wants those upgrades and wants them bad. Lots of Hellions being produced along with Thors. He's going to be producing out of 4 factories in no time. This Zerg player is really going to need to tech up. And just as I say it, this layer is 3/4 way into a hive. And he's doing a quick drone transfer to his 3rd base. And his 4th base halfway done. The Zerg player is taking over this map strategically and wisely. And here come 3 Hellions. Are they going to do any damage? Are they just going to get scouting information? Here they come. Now aware of the gold expansion. They know this is here. This is going to be big to see how the Terran reacts. And here he comes. Goodbye. Hellions, no more scouting, no more running. Your days are done. Zerg player in just a commanding lead right now. Couple idle SCVs. Terran player obviously a little bit shaken, trying to keep up with the micro of the Hellions. Hive is already done. We'll see where he goes from here. We're going to the production tab. Still, he's getting the melee upgrade. Wouldn't be surprised if he switches to Ultralist by the fact he's getting the melee upgrade. Taking a look here, we have a good number of Roaches. Taking a look at the army tab, 119 to 84. Again, the Zerg player in a commanding supply lead. Zerg player completely saturating his 3rd expo. Probably going to be sending drones to his 4th very soon to take advantage of that gold. And here we go, double spine crawls. Doesn't want Hellions to do any kind of harassment on those. All his bases that are spread out. Hellions just doing a little bit of searching around, and again with a fumble growth, his Hellion not able to run away. His Hellion buddy just watches as his Hellion friends are covered in green goop and destroyed. And look at that. Actually, excuse me, I was looking at the Zerg's money. Zerg money, 2,500, 1,300. Production tab, here's the Ultra's Cavern. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a giant ball of Ultras produced to really push the Zerg into the next, push the Zerg into the next gear and really take advantage. Again, as Terran player knows his window for opportunity is dwindling as these Ultras are getting produced, pushing across, and here we go, Chitinous Plane being learned, still not producing any Ultras. Jumping to the units tab. No Ultras on the field at all. Just 16 roaches between him and this push. Taking away these people, I think it's a little bit clean to see. 3 floors, a ball of Hellions, and look at those SCVs. SCVs, most likely, no auto repairs not turned on. Taking down the gold expansion, goodbye for the base. Not able to do anything with this small grouping of armies. Bringing up the production tab. 5 Ultralists are being produced. Finally, with Ultras are going to get into the mix. Terran player is going to get down this cliff. I don't know if this cliff is going to be a good thing or a bad thing for him. Looks like it's going to be a mixed thing because he's going to do his Hellion Struck. Slowers are going to be in the mix. Slowers can take out this base. It's going to be huge to push the Zerg back into 2 bases. And the Zerg, look at this, deciding it's not worth it to protect his own base, deciding to counterattack. His 3rd base is completely lost. He knows it's over, and here he comes. Will he be able to the wall is back down. This wall really coming in handy right now, preventing the Zerg player from doing any critical damage. Not even going to get his SCVs. Like weakening some barracks while being repaired by SCVs. Roaches finally wrapping around. Here they come. The Thors from over here are running back, jumping back to this fight. Here we go. Roaches being melted. Infested Terrans doing everything they can, but it's not going to be enough for the Zerg player because here come reinforcements from the Terrans.